Mr. Ajala Kenneth had just donated 5 million naira to the church building project to the delights of the pastor and congregation. He is a well-known politician and the national chairman of the PDC party, the ruling party in his nation. He had come to church for a Thanksgiving service to celebrate his wife's successful election into the House of Representatives in a by-election. It was a fun fair. There were 10 fat cows tied to a tree just by the church fence to be shared to the church pastors. He had provided takeaway food for everyone in church. Various brands of luxury cars owned by dignitaries that he had invited were parked in the parking area. As the service ended and as he was standing with the church pastor while passing members greeted him, security operatives arrived to arrest him. Everyone was shocked. No one expected that such a celebration would turn into a tense Hollywood movie scene so quickly. A video from YouGotCaught.com has gone viral where he ordered the killing of the previous representative. He ordered the killing to pave the way for his wife to take over. His vision has been to build a political empire, with his family being the most powerful in the nation. His first son is already a deputy governor in a state, and his younger brother the chairman of the National Universities Regulation Board. All achievements decorated with question marks. He's been fingered in a $5 billion corruption case that has gone quiet. But this recent scandal was too loud to be ignored. He tried both bribery and intimidation on the previous candidate, and when she wasn't given in, he hired a hitman to eliminate her. On Sunday, the DDS swooped into the church. 15 heavily armed men handcuffed him and took him away. This was the third mission by a secret group committed to exposing corrupt politicians and public officials. This was their biggest takedown. In their first mission, they targeted a vice-chancellor of a university who was looting funds made for school projects and forced him to remit the funds back to the school at the risk of being exposed. He refunded the money and the group still exposed him. It made national news. Their second mission was a senator who was asking for bribes from a non-profit organization before he could sponsor a child rights protection bill in the Senate. The group got wind of this, tracked and compiled evidences of his corruption, and still forced him to sponsor the bill at the risk of having all the evidence released to the media. But the exposure of Dr. Ajala was their biggest mission. It shook the political system of the nation. In a nation where unemployment and poverty keeps rising, injustice and oppression rules, the system keeps deteriorating and the elite continue to live lavishly with impunity on stolen public funds. These young citizens were committed to fight the scourge with their skills. They hacked into Dr. Ajala's phone, disguised as assassins, and got him to hire one of them to do the job of eliminating the representative, while they documented everything as evidence. The secret group, called the Zaki Avengers, came together from different tribes, sharing a common pain from the struggles and injustice in their country. Amina is a skilled hacker from the north, faced economic hardship in her community. She was a kidnapped victim at the age of 16 and was lucky to escape with her life. She was adopted and raised by a foreign non-profit organization. While under the care of the organization, she has always been fascinated with their ICT room and staff. There, her passion for tech was born. Chooks, an army veteran from the southeast, witnessed how corruption was compromising national security. He was excommunicated because he tried to blow the whistle on a major general who was profiting from insecurity. The general was too powerful, and he was only lucky to escape with his life. His wife was not as lucky. Efe, a school teacher from the southwest, was just getting into activism, suffered the consequences of peacefully protesting against injustice, beaten and imprisoned on several occasions by the police. Marvin, an investigative journalist, faced censorship while exposing corruption. He invested all his adult life and millions of dollars to build a TV station, only for a corrupt judge to withdraw his license and slammed his company with a shady $15 million defamation fine. He had to shut it down. And Joyce, a Gist social media blogger whose identity was still unknown. Their unity grew from common experiences, and each member's skills played a crucial role. Amina hacked into Dr. Ajala's encrypted conversations and planted Chuks as a hitman for the job. Dr. Ajala took the bait. One evening, he requested a meeting with Chuks. Chuks disguised himself with fake beards and an afro hair and with a subtle British accent. Dr. Ajala arrived with his chief security guard, who found and hired Chuks. Chuks introduced himself as Redman, a Liberian raised in Britain who had become a wanted man for various crimes. While he was speaking, Dr. Ajala Googled and found him on various news platforms as a wanted man. Fake pages expertly created by Amina. Chuks, with military know-how, had a camera planted between his shirt buttons which recorded everything. Efe, the activist, had the task of penetration into Dr. Ajala's circle to get more evidence. With his good looks and sweet mouth, he wooed Dr. Ajala's personal assistant, Hilda, into a fairy tale love affair she had always dreamt of. It was too good to be true. She had her doubts and constantly tried to hold herself back from handing her delicate heart out again to a man. She had suffered enough heartbreaks from men who couldn't handle an alpha female. But then again, she was afraid to lose Efe. What if I never find another man? Will I be single all my life? If he had her in his palms, and as much as he felt guilty and sorry for her, he had convinced himself that it was for the greater good. She was going to be an unfortunate casualty in an operation against her boss. Her hands weren't totally clean though. She had secrets on her laptop, files that confirm her boss's corrupt dealings, unfortunately making him a target for the Zaki Avengers. While Hilda let herself loose into nights of romantic escapades, Efe helped himself by making copies of the document on her laptop, sending them to Marvin, the journalist. Marvin compiled a comprehensive dossier to expose the corruption by Dr. Ajala and published it on their website. Yes, YouGotCaught.com was the bane of politicians and corrupt officers. A special police squad has been set up to fish the owners out, but all to no avail. Who is behind this group? Who do they think they are? Alhaji Lamido, a high-ranking minister, questioned as he watched the news of Dr. Ajala's arrest. He was a close associate of Dr. Ajala and also had skeletons in his closet. He made it his mission to uncover the identity of the group and was behind the special squad set up to fish them out. As the Zaki Avengers executed their plan during the Thanksgiving service, Amina's intel guided them discreetly. Chuk's tactics ensured a swift and controlled arrest, avoiding being detected as the mole. The operation exposed not only Dr. Ajala but also the deep-rooted corruption within the ruling party. When they collected all the evidence of Dr. Ajala's plot, they alerted Mrs. Coker and she worked with them to fake her death, just so that Dr. Ajala's evil plan would play out to the fullest. She made a video narrating the whole plot, how the group reached out to her and how she faked her own death, which made national news at the time. The scandal was too messy for Dr. Ajala's political powers to save him. He planned to eliminate another prominent and well-loved woman politician, and he was caught in the act. The hashtag #ProtestToday and prosecute Ajala was already trending online and globally. It was already making international headlines, and the president had to bow to the pressure. The Zaki Avengers' success fueled their determination to expose more perpetrators and dismantle the corrupt network that had plagued the nation for too long. They were popular and praised among the citizens, but it also meant they had become the most wanted people in the nation by the political elite. Till this day, no one truly knows the identity of the Zaki Avengers, and the hunt is still on for them. But then, why fear if your hands are clean?